Alright, before we go to Dr. Wily's castle, we have some other things to take care of, and the first of those things is in Slashman stage. Alright, what we need is right after the dinosaur mini-boss here. We want to, well, we don't want to get it out yet, but we're going to need the Scorch Wheel that we got in Turbo Man stage. We have to beat pretty much all the Robot Masters before we can access this thing. And Turbo Man is the last of them, and now that we have his weapon, we can get what we need to right here. We're going to come to the last tree right before this room area, and we're going to switch over to Scorch Wheel. And we're going to burn this tree down. Burn, baby, burn. You know, for all the good he does, Mega Man is a very unrepentant deforester. So let's go ahead and Rush Coil up here, because we can't jump there otherwise. And here is our friend... Okay, yeah, Rush. Okay, you're done here. Just chill out, Rush. You're not needed anymore, Rush. We have Beat now. All you gotta do is do a charged up Mega Buster shot, and Beat is now here to help you. Now, in Mega Man 5 and 6, he was introduced in 5, and Beat would kind of fly with you and physically attack enemies. He'd run into him and kill him. But here, he's a little bit more useful. If you fall into a hole, Beat will save you from... Whoa! Snake looks a little, Snake looks a little perturbed there. Nice little, background detail. I think we really kind of disturbed his slumber there. But I think there's a pit we might be able to show this off in. I think Beat works automatically. I should go over here and... Okay, yeah, you have 4 beats here. So let's... Oh, I didn't mean to use an energy... Shotsy. Well, that was dumb. Well, anyway, here's a little hole we can test this out on right here. As soon as we get rid of Mr. Guy, let's just jump into a hole. And you think you're dead, but no. Beat saves you, and you get quite a few of those, actually. Now, you do get a little too heavy for him at times, and so you actually have to maneuver to land. He can't just carry you to land. You got to do a little bit of the legwork, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And so, we could use the exit, but we're pretty close to the boss room. We'll just go there, and next up is Shade Man stage. We have a few things to get there. Okay, you remember the Pumpkin boss and how we defeated the outer core last time. Well, this time we're going to defeat the inner core, which is much easier. And you're going to see that it creates a route that we weren't able to take last time. All you got to do is these little, like, tap jumps, and you should be able to hit the inner core pretty easily. It only takes about 6 hits, I believe, to take down the inner part of the pumpkin. Kind of hard to hit him when he's all rising up in the air like that, but it should only take 1 more hit. I'm not too worried about wasting my Thunderbolts here. There we go. Now we switch over, and now we're going to go, and we're going to encounter Proto Man. Now, when you encounter Proto Man, you can only find him in Cloud Man stage and Turbo Man stage. But you have to find him those 2 times. Oh, wow. Well, I would like to have taken him on with full energy. English major in the house. First, though, we're going to do a rush search right here. And this is where we're going to find the last Mega Bolt. They seem to usually be hidden on steps like this. Just the pattern I've noticed. But now we're going to go in and we are actually going... No, Rush. Stay home, boy. You want no part of this. We're going to go in. We're not going to put on any special items or anything. We are just going to go in, and take him on mano a mano. But you can't access this fight until you found him in Cloud Man stage and Turbo Man stage. Yeah, you hear that boss fight music? It is on. If you come to this stage before you found him in Cloud Man and Turbo Man, then this room will be empty. But once you've satisfied those 2 conditions, you can get it on. You can fight. Here we go. Okay, this is kind of a tough little fight here. Proto Man's got really high HP, but you want to take him down with charged Mega Buster shots so that it knocks him back a little bit. And he has a shield, as you can see, so that gives him a definite advantage. But you want to knock him back like that. Every time you knock him back like that, he'll charge at you. So that's a nice little bit of... That's a nice little pattern to rely on there. And he'll do this little jump thing. That's also a good time to get him while he's jumping around. I usually get nailed by these little pellets. That's the thing that tends to get me. But if you fire enough charged Mega Buster shots at him, this is a pretty easy fight, as long as you can avoid his other stuff. Okay, yeah. Wow, I don't know how I got away with that. That was kind of silly on my part, but okay. Not doing too bad so far. You just don't want him to charge headlong into you like that. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. Oh, stupid me. Oh, God. And you see, he got a pretty banging charge shot. It's nothing to shake a stick at. Well, something to shake a stick at, I guess. Now he's going to charge into me there. Right when he's on the ground there. And of course he will charge at you, so got to be careful about that. Oh, hey, whoa, I thought he was standing still like he was done. And clearly our business is still unfinished. I got a little complacent there. I don't know, he just tends to kind of chill out, doesn't he? Oh, nope, I won. Well, he's got pretty high HP, takes several charge shots. Still a little reluctant to admit it, but I did win fair and square. And as a result of this fight, we get an item that's not necessary to have, but for you completionists out there, if I had my druthers, I really wouldn't bother getting this, but, you know, just for completion's sake and to show it on camera. So here we go. The Proto Shield now belongs to Mega Man, and we can test it right outside the door here. You just go back the way you came, and let's go ahead and equip that bad boy. It's right under our super adapter. Alright. Now we come up, and now let's just let Sniper Joe shoot at us. Do your worst. Ha 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 ha! Sucker! Nothing's gonna stop me now. I have the Proto Shield. And you can slide with it, so it does offer a little bit of protection. It's kind of an intermediary step between the super adapter and just the Mega Buster. It offers you a little bit of protection from minor bullets, and you can slide with it on your back, which seems like it might be a little bit unwieldy. But hey, I didn't create the Proto Shield. I don't know how it gets held down or anything. But that is pretty much it. We've got all the items we need, and now before we go to Dr. Wily's castle, we need to make a stop at a shop that we haven't visited yet, which is Otto's shop. And we're going to reach that by pressing the select button on the stage select screen. Oh god, it's a giant Eddie! Somebody call Superman, the police, run! Ah! No, it's not as bad as all that. This is actually Otto's shop right here with the big weird googly eyes. And normally, we would have to pay a lot to buy things here, but we found Otto's screw, as you'll recall, in Springman's level, and now everything will be half price. Just as soon as he gets it screwed on here. The fan is so funny to me. I mean, Mega Man, despite being made in Japan, strikes me as a distinctly American type of game for some reason. So it's always really weird to me when Japanese elements, like Otto doing the fan with the rising sun on it, show up. Or like a boss that we'll see later in Wily's Castle. So now we can get everything for half price, which is great because we need to stock up. And it's a lot easier to stock up on items if you've been finding Mega Bolts. Now you can see that a lot of the things that are on sale in the shop here are things we've already found throughout the levels. Like, we can buy the Rush Jet, we can buy Search Rush, the Energy Balancer, the Hyper Rocket Punch, the Exit Beat. We can buy all those things in the shop, but that would be a waste of money, and we would need to grind bolts in order to get things that are really useful, like these weapon energy tanks. We're going to stock up fully on these things, and that's only going to cost us a total of 200 bolts. So we're just going to get going on that. Alright, and as soon as you press Y, even while he's talking, it'll confirm it. So you got to be really careful about what you press sometimes. So having just spent 200 bolts, we got that, and now we're going to go get an S-Tank. An S-Can, or an S-Can rather. I guess soda can. Fully charges your energy and all of your weapons. Very excellent. We will take one of those, even though one can be found in Wily's Castle. So maybe that was a waste of money. But we've got bolts in case we need to come back and buy more weapon energy. We got money for 8 more weapon energy cans. Energy tanks we won't spend money on, because those can be found throughout the levels. If we go back and revisit levels, those will regenerate. And so when I use energy tanks in Wily's Castle, I'll be coming back and grinding. Which sounds weird, but bear with me. We're pretty much full up on everything here. So let's get out of here and let's take on, to end the day, our first Wily's Castle level. Na 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 na. One of the more epic Skull Castle themes, in my opinion. And this is a pretty simple level with a kind of a anti-Brightman concept. Or maybe it is a Brightman concept, not anti-Brightman. We're going to see a lot of stuff recycled here. We're just going to plug on through, though. The hard parts of these levels are the bosses. Now, this is a weird... Wily's Castle works kind of strangely in this game. Let me go ahead and just essay on that briefly, if you'll... Ooh, hey, it actually stayed on the ledge. That's neat. But, yeah. Just briefly, we're going to talk about how Wily's Castle works in this game, because it's different from other Mega Man games. In most Mega Man games, you go to Dr. Wily's Castle, and at that point, the mechanics of the game change. Most of the time, while you're fighting the Robot Masters, after a level, you see these platforms here. Actually, let me take a minute to show off these platforms. Lights go off when you stand on them. That's where the Brightman part comes in. And they spin around and can't be stood on when there's little gaps. But if you look ahead, those are pretty easy to suss out. But anyway, in most Mega Man games, when you're playing the Robot Master levels, after every level, your weapon energy refills and you get a password. And once you get to Wily's Castle, that's generally not the case. Your weapon energy stops refilling automatically, which means you have to think harder about how you use your weapons and stuff. And, oh, and now we have these floors that turn off the lights when we stand on them. So, that's fun, too. But yeah, and then when you get to Wily's Castle... Whoa, hey, aw, crap, I didn't want that egg to go off like that. And when you get to Wily's Castle, that goes away. You start having to think about your weapon energy, and you don't get passwords anymore. You basically have to do Wily's Castle in one solid run. That's not the case in Mega Man 7. In Mega Man 7, your weapon energy is refilled between Wily levels, and you get passwords, because you have to select Wily's Castle every time you want to play the next level in it. And that gives you an opportunity between levels to stock up on things like energy tanks and weapon energy tanks, and just basically get refilled. Which makes it sound like this would be an easy Wily's Castle, but ironically, that actually makes it really hard. This is probably... I've played 7 of the regular series Mega Man games, and I played 1 through 4. I've played 7 of them to completion, rather. I've played 1 through 4, 6, 7, and 9. I've beaten those. And of those, I would say, in my opinion, that 7 has the hardest Dr. Wily's Castle of all of those. Let's go ahead and concentrate a little bit right here. See, it's really easy to know when to jump if you just look ahead. It's not like that Gutsman thing from his level in Mega Man 1. But yeah, the things that seem like it should make Wily's Castle, whew, that was tough. The thing that, oh yeah, I have Beat, yay, I forgot about that, whee, get over there, Beat. Alright, wow, I forgot I had that, that's really useful. See, it pays to go and discover things, if I may paraphrase a certain product's slogan. But yeah, the things that seem like it should make Wily's Castle really easy, like getting to stock up on items between levels, they actually make it harder, because the bosses, as you'll see, usually require some kind of energy refill to get through them properly. And for this one, we're going to face Bass first in this level. There's 2 bosses in this level, and the first one we're going to face is Bass, and we're going to use the Super Adapter. We're going to be using the Rocket Punch. It only takes about 5 Hyper Rocket Punches to take him down, so let's cut through here and have our first of a couple of Bass battles. Oh, well, look at you, Mr. Big Britches. Yeah, we'll just let him jump. Wow, I just jumped straight into him that first time. But yeah, he does a lot of jumping. He's very Flashman-esque. He just kind of jumps all around haphazardly throughout his place, his habitation. He's really easy, though. All you gotta do is charge up your rocket punches, make sure you have that hyper-homing one, and you ought to be okay to go. And then there's a bit of a... Aw, what? I was gonna say, then there's a bit of a Junkman segment before we get to the actual boss here, which, if you've been paying attention, you will recognize. Also, if you have some familiarity with Mega Man, you'll be recognizing the boss. And for this one, we're going to want to get rid of Super Adapter and whip out our Slash Claw. Slash Claw is a law they make you use a lot in Dr. Wily's Castle, because, I mean, it's a melee weapon, it's difficult to use, and therefore they're going to make you use it quite a bit. So we're going to pop through here. And if you remember, Dr. Wily stole Gutsman from the museum back several Robot Masters ago, And now he's turned him into the Guts Dozer. He's going to drop these blocks from the ceiling, and the way we damage Gutsman is we slash claw these blocks into him. And when he turns his claw in a spiral like that, that means he's going to drop a block down on us. And when he clamps them like pliers or like clamps, he's not actually doing his other attack. It's making this really easy. There he goes. He's going to come at us, and he'll chunk us into the ceiling, which takes a lot of damage on us. Okay, yeah, you got to be really quick on the draw there. Yeah, as long as you're quick on the draw, you stay fairly close. Get away when the blocks fall down the ceiling, and then quickly turn around and smack them back at him. And that's how you damage him, and that's how you kill him. We were really lucky here. We didn't have to use, I don't think, any energy tanks, actually, so I don't actually have to do any grinding between this level and next, but we're still going to take a break between this level and the next one. We're going to come back to the next one tomorrow, and we got really lucky there. That Guts Dozer is usually a lot nastier than that, but I don't think we have to do any special grinding, so that's nice for us. We will then come back tomorrow and get started in on Dr. Wily's Castle Level 2. See, we have to actually go back to it, which is a really strange setup, and much, much harder than it looks. There is some really nasty stuff coming up, so we'll see you for that.